what is the minimum down payment on a home? So specifically, first-time home buyers have a tendency to ask that question because it's their first time through the process. So what would you answer with that? What's the minimum down payment on a home?
Minimum for a normal loan is going to be between 3 and 3.5%. So the exception to that rule is going to be a VA loan, which is 100% financing with no mortgage insurance if you are qualified for that loan product. But the minimum downs on a conventional loan is going to be 3%, and the minimum for an FHA is going to be 3.5%. There are also alternative options to get that down payment. There's multiple down payment assistance programs out there that even if you don't have the 3.5% or 3%, we may be able to come up with that for you.
Got you. And so to piggyback on that question, what else do you as a buyer need to think about and game plan and prepare financially for? So if you're putting 3 to 5% down, let's say, are there additional costs that are associated with buying a house?
There are. They're closing costs, of course, and that's going to range a rough average in our markets, I'd say between 3 and 4% for closing costs. And then you also have to prepay your tax and your insurance. That's going to be anywhere from 1 to 1.5%. So realistically, you should have somewhere in the ballpark of conservatively 5 to 6% on top of what your down payment is to buy a home. Again, there are options for the seller to pay those closing costs. There are options for some down payment to pay assistance to pay some of those closing costs as well. And also there's other alternatives like 401k loans that you can take, which are penalty free and tax free. You could borrow from an IRA. You could get a gift from a family member. There are multiple different options too. There's also some programs depending on who your employer is that may give you some funds to buy a home as well.
And I want to put that in a context that I think is more digestible for some of us. So if you're going to buy a $300,000 home, that 5% range, right? So is that going to be around $15,000? And plus your down payment, which could be another, I don't know, 9,000, let's call it 9 or 10,000. So it might be around 25,000 for a $300,000 home, of which you can find that money in a variety of avenues that you just discussed, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. So that's important. Some people haven't thought that far through, but there are grants, there are all kinds of options. And that's why on the front end, we would want to identify all the options for somebody so we can properly get them into a home without as many of the headaches as you might if we didn't do it.
Yes, I 100% agree.
Excellent.